VFC DLOM calculator is a tool to help you develop refined and supportable conclusions about the marketing periods of illiquid assets, price risk estimation, and the discount for lack of marketability that should be applied to a particular asset as of a particular date. The VFC DLOM calculator offers two powerful probability-based functions. One function is used to estimate the probabilities associated with price volatility, a measure of the price risk associated with owning a business or other asset. A second is used to estimate the probabilities associated with the time periods needed to market illiquid assets, particularly businesses. The VFC DLOM calculator currently offers a choice of three options-based formulas to calculate discounts for lack of marketability, commonly called DLOM. The currently available formulas are the Longstaff formula, the Black-Scholes formula, and the Finnerty formula. This tutorial shows how to estimate DLOM using the VFC DLOM calculator. DLOMs calculated with the VFC methodology should be considered systematic. That is, they apply to a business or other asset based on its general economic characteristics. Specific company considerations that cause a particular business or asset to deviate from general characteristics should be added to or subtracted from the systematic DLOM calculated with this methodology. Step 2 involves defining the marketing period probabilities. This step is the same as for marketing period estimation, which was the subject of another tutorial. Please view the marketing period estimation tutorial for an in-depth demonstration of the features available for marketing period inputs. We will use the same selections made in that tutorial. The marketing period parameters for this DLOM calculation tutorial are SIC codes 2400 through 2499, asking price of $2.5 million through $5 million, 25 to 100 employees, and annual revenues of $5 million to $15 million. Step 3 involves defining the price volatility probabilities. This step is the same as for the price volatility estimation, which was also the subject of another tutorial. Please view the price volatility estimation tutorial for an in-depth demonstration of the features available for price volatility inputs. We will use the same selections made in that tutorial. The price volatility guideline companies for this DLOM tutorial are Louisiana Pacific Corporation, ticker symbol LPX. LPX is classified in SIC code 2400, which is lumber and wood products except furniture. Deltic Timber Corporation, ticker symbol DEL. DEL is classified in SIC code 2421, which is sawmills and planing mills operations. Green Dragon Wood Products Incorporated, ticker symbol GDWP. GDWP is classified in SIC code 2430, which is millwood, veneer, plywood, and structural wood members manufacturing. Nobility Homes Incorporated, ticker symbol NOBH. NOBH is classified in SIC code 2451, which is mobile homes manufacturing. Modtech Holdings Incorporated, ticker symbol MODTQ. MODTQ is classified in SIC code 2452, which is prefabricated wood buildings and components. Step 4 primarily involves choosing a DLOM calculation formula. Users can choose from the Longstaff, Black-Scholes, and Finnerty formula. The Longstaff formula only requires the two variables of marketing period and price volatility. However, the Black-Scholes and Finnerty formulas offer additional variables. Selecting the Black-Scholes formula radio button allows users to input the additional variables of an underlying and a strike price of a stock, the applicable risk-free rate, and dividend yield. Selecting the Finnerty formula radio button allows users to input the applicable risk-free rate and dividend yield. We will use the Longstaff formula for this demonstration. Let's select the radio button and click the Run Report button. We see that the specified parameters result in a probability-adjusted DLOM of 22.1%, with a lower bound of 20.8% and an upper bound of 23.4%. The probability-adjusted DLOM represents the sum of DLOMs calculated for 2,500 combinations of 50 marketing period probability segments and 50 price volatility probability segments, as shown in this graph of separate DLOM distributions. Each of the 2,500 combinations is weighted to the likelihood that the combination will occur so that the sum of all weighted DLOMs accounts for all of the likely occurrences. This graph of the distribution of probability-adjusted DLOM demonstrates the effect on DLOM of the combined probabilities associated with the specified marketing period and price volatility parameters. The VFC DLOM calculator graphs indicated that some of the probability combinations result in DLOM values greater than 100%. The combined probabilities graph indicates in red the combinations for which this occurs. Note that the red area of the graph represents very low probability occurrences. The calculator automatically limits these combinations to 100% before weighting them for probability. Consequently, Longstaff DLOMs never exceed 100%. Now let's re-examine our price volatility assumptions. The DLOM that we just calculated is based on all of the available guideline company price data. What if we only want to use 1 year of price data, the year before our December 31, 2015 valuation date? We start by clicking the Modify Options button. Then select the radio button for Look Backward from Valuation Date, type in 250, which is the typical number of trading days in a year, and click the Display Price Volatility button. This updates the price data in the Price Volatility Statistics table for price events looking backward from the valuation date specified in the report profile. Note that only 243 trading days of data is available for stock GDWP. Now, clicking the Run Report button tells us that the average probability-adjusted DLOM is 17.0% instead of the previous 22.1%. Selecting the Look Forward radio button utilizes the price data for a specified period starting with the valuation date. For example, looking forward 200 trading days to approximately October 15, 2016, the probability-adjusted DLOM is 10.9%. The calculated DLOM declined because price volatility for the 200-day look-forward period in 2016 was much lower than price volatility for the 250-day look-backward period in 2015. The calculator also allows users to use customized price volatility date ranges that, for example, might be split by the valuation date. Note that the marketing period table tells us that the probability-adjusted marketing period, determined from our time period specifications, is 277.7 days. 277.7 calendar days equates to about 200 trading days. It might be desirable to match the price volatility analysis to this time period before, after, or spanning the valuation date. Let's assume that the desired price range spans a 278-day time period at the midpoint. This period would commence approximately August 10, 2015, and end approximately May 25, 2016. Entering those dates into the Custom Price Volatility fields and clicking the Display Price Volatility button again updates the Price Volatility Statistics table. After clicking the Run Report button again, we find that the recalculated probability-adjusted DLOM is 15.5%. The VFC DLOM calculator facilitates users' price volatility analyses in other ways. The 5 stocks comprising our guideline group have an average price volatility of 33.3% and an average price volatility standard deviation of 134.4%. Upon closer examination, we see that 2 of the stocks, GDWP and MODTQ, exhibit significantly higher price volatility than the other 3. Such discrepancies may be an indication that one of the other groups of stocks or individual stocks may not be as comparable to the valuation subject as desired. Let's assume that you conclude that GDWP and MODTQ should be dropped as guideline companies. We can test the effects by clicking the Modify Options button and removing them from the ticker symbol list. The Price Volatility Statistics table now tells us that the 3-company guideline group has an average price volatility of 21.0% and an average price volatility standard deviation of 29.0%, a 1.4 coefficient of variation. The probability-adjusted DLOM based on this data is now 14.4% with a low bound of 12.3% and a high bound of 16.6%. Alternatively, you might have concluded that GDWP and MODTQ are more comparable to the valuation subject than LPX, DEL, and NOBH. In this case, the average price volatility is 51.8% and the average price volatility standard deviation is 292.4%, a 5.6 coefficient of variation. These data result in a probability-adjusted DLOM of 17.9% with a low bound of 7.4% and a high bound of 29.4%. The GDWP and MODTQ group has a much greater range of probable DLOM results because the standard deviation of price volatility of these stocks is much greater than for a group consisting of LPX, DEL, and NOBH as reflected in the respective coefficients of variation, 5.6 versus 1.4 respectively. But our calculations in this example are based on the weighted average of 1,274 transactions that have at least one of the specified marketing period parameters, 282.4 days average marketing period with a standard deviation of 233.3 days. The values for the 1,066 unique transactions that have at least one of the specified parameters is close to the same. But what if we were to conclude that our DLOM conclusions should be based only on the 3 transactions that have all the specified parameters? The effects of that conclusion can be tested by selecting the third radio button in the marketing period statistics table and rerunning the DLOM calculations with the assumption of an average marketing period of 620.3 days and a marketing period standard deviation of 239.9 days. This scenario yields a probability-adjusted DLOM of 23.5% with a lower bound of 8.3% and an upper bound of 41.3%. The VFC DLOM calculator also allows users to easily modify the individual marketing period parameters. For example, the marketing period statistics table shows that the average marketing period days for the SIC, asking price, and employees parameters are 221.9 days, 316.9 days, and 273.4 days respectively. Let's assume a conclusion that the asking price parameter should be removed. Unchecking the box for asking price removes that parameter, which results in a probability-adjusted DLOM of 21.5% when the calculations are rerun. You may have noticed a couple of boxes that refer to Monte Carlo simulation. There's one under each of the statistics tables. These functions are used to determine where within the confidence interval range the probability-adjusted DLOM would fall if the average were assumed to be more or less than the average reported in the one or both of the tables. The VFC DLOM calculator offers robust reporting tools. Clicking the Show Graphs button produces a series of graphs that visually explain the probability distributions of marketing period, price volatility, and combined probabilities, and another series of graphs that visually explain the effects of probability on DLOM. Clicking the Show Spreadsheets button produces on-screen spreadsheets that report the numbers that support the graphs and the probability-based DLOM values. Clicking the Print Report button produces a report in PDF format that can be printed or saved to the user's computer. If you need assistance, Vianello Forensic Consulting LLC is available for consultation, training, continuing education seminars, and expert testimony regarding the theories and methodologies underlying probability-based DLOM and application of the VFC DLOM calculator. Feel free to contact us and to visit VFC's website.